Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we are going to be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer. So, let's get going. As when sharp Boreas blows abroad, and brings the dreary winter on his frozen wings, beneath the low-hung clouds the sheets of snow descend and whiten all the fields below. So fast the darts on either army pour, so down the rampires rolls the lucky shower. Heavy and thick resound the battered shields, and the deaf echo rattles round the fields. With shame repulsed, with grief and fury driven, the frantic Asius thus accuses heaven. In powers immortal who shall now believe? Can those two flatter, and can Jove deceive? What man could doubt but Troy's victorious power should humble Greece and this her fatal hour? But like when wasps from hollow crannies drive to guard the entrance of their common hive, darkening the rock while with unwearied wings they strike the assailants and infix their stings. A race determined that to death contend, so fierce these Greeks to their last retreats defend. Gods shall two warriors only guard their gates, repel an army and defraud the fates. These empty accents mingled with the wind, nor moved great Jove's unalterable mind. To godlike Hector and his matchless might was owed the glory of the destined fight. Like deeds of arms through all the forts were tried, and all the gates sustained an equal tide. Through the long walls the stony showers were heard, the blaze of flames, the flash of arms appeared. The spirit of a god my breast inspire, to raise each act to life and sing with fire. While Greece unconquered kept alive the war, secure of death, confiding in despair, and all her guardian gods in deep dismay, with unassisting arms deplored the day. Even yet the dauntless Lapithae maintain the dreadful path, and round them heap the slain. First Damasus by Polypoetes' steel, pierced through his helmet's brazen visor, fell. The weapon drank the mingled brains and gore, the warrior sinks, tremendous, now no more. Next Dormenus and Pylon yield their breath, nor less Leontius strews the field with death. First through the belt Hippomachus he gored, then sudden waved his unresisted sword. Antiphates, as through the ranks he broke, the falchion struck, and fate pursued the stroke. Iamenus Orestes Menon bled, and round him rose a monument of dead. Meantime the bravest of the Trojan crew, bold Hector and Polydamas pursue, fierce with impatience on the works to fall, and wrap in rolling flames the fleet and wall. These on the farther bank now stood and gazed, by heaven alarmed, by prodigies amazed. A signal omen stopped the passing host, their martial fury in their wonder lost. Jove's bird on sounding pinions beat the skies, a bleeding serpent of enormous size. His talons trussed alive and curling round, he stung the bird, whose throat received the wound. Mad with the smart he drops the fatal prey, in airy circles wings his painful way, floats on the winds and rends the heaven with cries, amidst the host the fallen serpent lies. They, pale with terror, mark its spires unrolled, and Jove's portent with beating hearts behold. Then first Polydamas the silence broke, long weighed the signal, and to Hector spoke. How oft, my brother, thy reproach I bear, for words well meant and sentiments sincere. True to those counsels which I judge the best, I tell the faithful dictates of my breast. To speak his thoughts is every freeman's right, in peace, in war, in council, and in fight. And all I move deferring to thy sway, but tends to raise that power which I obey. Then hear my words, nor may my words be vain. Seek not this day the Grecian ships to gain, for sure to warn us Jove his omen sent, and thus my mind explains its clear event. The victor eagle whose sinister flight retards our host and fills our hearts with fright, dismissed his conquest in the middle skies, allowed to seize but not possess the prize. Thus though we gird the fires the Grecian fleet, though these proud bulwarks tumble at our feet, toils unforeseen and fiercer are decreed, more woes shall follow and more heroes bleed. So bodes my soul and bids me thus advise, for thus a skilful seer would read the skies. To him then Hector with disdain returned, fierce as he spoke, his eyes with fury burned. Are these the faithful counsels of thy tongue? Thy will is partial, not thy reason wrong. Or if the purpose of thy heart thou vent, sure heaven resumes the little sense it lent. What coward counsels would thy madness move against the word, the will revealed of Jove? The leading sign, the irrevocable nod, and happy thunders of the favouring God. These shall I slight and guide my wavering mind, by wandering birds that flit with every wind. Ye vagrants of the sky, your wings extend, or where the sun arise, or where descend. To right, to left, unheeded take your way, while I the dictates of high heaven obey. Without a sign his sword the brave man draws, and asks no omen but his country's cause. But why shouldst thou suspect the war's success? None fears it more, as none promotes it less. Though all our chiefs amidst yon ships expire, trust thy own cowardice to escape their fire. Troy and her sons may find a general grave, but thou canst live, for thou canst be a slave. Yet should the fears that wary mind suggests spread their cold poison through our soldiers' breasts, my javelin can revenge so base a part, and free the soul that quivers in thy heart. Yeah, we can do that. Furious he spoke, and rushing to the wall, calls on his host, and his host obey the call. With ardour follow where their leader flies, redoubling clamours thunder in the skies. Jove breathes a whirlwind from the hills of Ide, and drifts of dust the clouded navy hide. He fills the Greeks with terror and dismay, and gives great Hector the predestined day. Strong in themselves, but stronger in his aid, close to the works their rigid siege they laid. In vain the mounds and massy beams defend, while these they undermine, and those they rend. Upheaved the piles that prop the solid wall, and heaps on heaps the smoky ruins fall. Greece on her ramparts stands the fierce alarms, the crowded bulwarks blaze with waving arms. Shield touching shield along refulgent row, whence hissing darts incessant rain below. The bold aegis fly from tower to tower, and rouse with flame divine the Grecian power. The generous impulse every Greek obeys, threats urge the fearful, and the valiant praise. Fellows in arms whose deeds are known to fame, and you whose ardour hopes to an equal name. Since not alike endued with force or art, behold a day when each may act his part. A day to fire the brave and warm the cold, to gain new glories or augment the old. Urge those who stand, and those who faint excite. Drown Hector's vaunts in loud exhorts of fight. Conquest, not safety, fill the thoughts of all. Seek not your fleet, but sally from the wall. So Jove once more may drive their routed train, and Troy lie trembling in her walls again. And with that, we come to the end of the episode. So I will say thank you very much for joining us today. Hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.